Erev Shabbos, everyone Parshas Beshalach, Shabbos Shira, Parshas Aman, Shabbos after Tu B'Shvat, after Yud Shvat. So to put it all together, Parshas Aman, the story of Amalek, we spoke about in the past years of the Rebbe's talk on Parshas Beshalach when the Jewish people faced the Red Sea from one side and the Egyptians coming from the other side. And there was four opinions. There was the opinion of the people who said, let's jump into the sea to commit suicide. Those who said, let's go back to Egypt. Others who said, let's fight and battle the Egyptians. And the third one says, let's just go daven. And Moshe said that none of those are the right ideas. Daber al b'nei Yisrael, speak to the Jewish people, vayiso. They have to march through the sea. We're going to Matan Torah, we're going to Har Sinai. And we spoke about the Rebbe's idea that no one could think of that idea. Everyone was trying to deal with to find the solution to the problem in either way. And the idea of vayiso is the person has to go out of the problem and see what the solution is, the focus. The focus is that we have to go to Matan Torah. We went into Mitzrayim. Never mind, we left Mitzrayim to go to Matan Torah, and that's where we're going. And that's what a Jew has to know. They has to find within themselves the message of vayiso. We have to move forward. And I want to. We learned those who learned in the class of Sanhedrin this week. We learned about the laws of someone who tries to commit murder by a way of tzimtzum, of restraining someone, containing someone to the situation that causes a person's death. And the Rava teaches us an amazing chiddush, that if you are, even though if it's a direct grama, if it's a direct immediate cause, that's considered murder. But if you prevent someone from living, you starve someone, you prevent someone from eating, and therefore the person starves to death, or you put a person in a situation where they lack oxygen, and therefore they suffocate, that Rava says that's not an act of murder. It's a complicated sugya, but the point being is that the Alter Rebbe teaches us that when the Jewish people left Mitzrayim, leaving a meitzar, leaving a confinement, and getting out of a difficult situation is not always the end game. The Alter Rebbe teaches us that there was two stages. That when the Jewish people left Mitzrayim, they were still left with the mindset of exile. They got out, they have oxygen, they're able to breathe, they may not die, but they're not living yet. They don't have a focus yet, they don't have a drive yet, they don't have a mission yet. And Moshe says in order to get to the next stage, even before Matan Torah, a person has to find their mission, ve'iso, you have to travel, you have to go through Kiryas Yamsuf. The Alter Rebbe continues and says that when it comes to the Kiryas Yamsuf, the revelations of Kiryas Yamsuf it says, Sus v'rachvai, the horse and rider, Rama v'yam, they threw into the sea. Which Sus v'rachvai, we know the different levels of words and languages and communications, the female talking to the male, the response, the desire, all that's put together, that in words, throw it into the sea. Get out of the limitations that you have to confine yourself to the exact verbiage and the exact language of what you're trying to say. Get to the image of Geula, of redemption. Get out of the limitations of the words. Throw it all into the sea. And that's why the women sang Shira, and the Jewish people sang Shira. And I was thinking an idea that says that the women took out the tambourines. Rashi says because they knew there's going to be something to dance, but they only danced after they left the Red Sea. Because leaving Egypt alone is not enough of a geula. You're still in a confinement. You may be breathing, you may have oxygen, but you're not living yet. You don't have a mission yet. And that's why after the Jewish people left, came out of the Red Sea, and they got the image, they threw away the limitations. They had the vayiso, the mission of we're heading to Matan Torah. They had certainty. So all of a sudden they come and they face Amalek. Amalek can't stand a person who's certain. A person who has a mission. When a person is iffy, if a person doesn't know what they're doing, so right now I have focus, but tomorrow I may not have focus. Pari comes at me, I get scared. I have simcha, but as soon as there's something bad happens in my life, I get depressed, or I get nervous, or I get stressed out. So Amalek doesn't attack such a person. But when a person has certainty, what marches through the sea, goes away from all the ideas, doesn't fight, doesn't pray, doesn't doesn't jump into the sea to lose themselves, doesn't go back to Egypt. But when a person has the mission and marches on to Matan Torah, that affects Amalek. Amalek runs out to battle and says, "Why are you so certain?" Amalek is the number value of suffix of doubt. Have a little doubt. Maybe this is not the way. Maybe you shouldn't be dom vayiso. Maybe you shouldn't have the certainty. You can't stand the Jewish person's certainty. So when we come to the situation that we're standing now at the last minutes of Geula, we have to know that we have the command vayiso. As difficult as the situation comes, we think that we have to start wars. I'm not talking about physical wars that our soldiers are fighting on behalf of the safety and the security and the survival of Eretz Yisrael. But if a person thinks I have to start making noise and fighting and and showing my opinion, that may not be the way. A person has to know Vayiso. We have to bring godliness down to the world. We have to march to Mashiach. We have to march to the song. We have to march to the image. Get rid of all the words, get rid of all the arguments, throw it all into the sea. Let's march to the Gula Shlema with becoming a Mashiach from Meir V'Yameinu, with Shabbos.